Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday, and welcome to your Wednesday Wisdom with Spirit. I'm Jeanette Byro. I am a medium and a cosmic channeler. And every Wednesday, I tune into Spirit, not with cards, just simply connecting in to see what my guides have to say. So, yesterday in the cards, we had my Arcturian guide, Shaham, come through. I'm curious if he's going to come through today. We shall see. So, I'm just going to tune in here and see what the message is. Just hold on. Okay, this is actually coming from one of my Pleiadian guides, Orion. I've talked about him before. He's talking about, do you remember last week I was talking about this sort of low rolling energy coming in? Hold on, he's showing me more images. So he's showing me there is a lot of transmutation happening now in these energies. So that low rolling energy moved in, and then there's there thank you. I was like, I can't quite understand what you're saying. And so he's showing it to me in a different way. This low rolling energy moved in. Picture it like planting and dropping seeds, weeds, we'll say. Okay. And now these weeds are starting to pop up everywhere. And you know, when you are going through your garden and you've weeded everything, you go away for a week, it's rained, there's been sun, you come back and there's tons of weeds again. And you're like, what? Like, I have been watching this, I've been weeding it. I go for a week and all these weeds are up. These weeds that we're having to pick again and pull out is this transmutation that's happening right now. And as annoying as that is, it doesn't take away from the tables that are turning that Shaham talked about yesterday. So he's like, if you pay attention and tend to the weeds and the transmutation, you're opening up and clearing up space in yet a deeper level for your manifestations to come in. Because as much as this low level density is at play, there's also a high level energy coming in. I'm being shown that there's, whether it's geomagnetic storms, CMEs, solar flares, there's some solar activity coming in end of this week into the weekend to kind of, okay, the imagery he's showing me is when we pull the weeds out and they are no longer rooted in the ground, and then the sun shines on those weeds, the sun dries up and basically burns out the weeds. So that's sort of what's happening. So as humans right now on this planet, we're having to transmute these energies coming up, whether that's coming through your body as sickness, illness, frustration with like things in your life, how your life is, things that you've been trying to work on that just aren't coming together. And you're like, what is going on? Like it's a whole restructure, renegotiation kind of thing. And you're having to weed again. What that's doing though is that's bringing those things to the surface. When you recognize something and you become aware of it and want to change it, you bring it to the surface. It's no longer stuck in your emotions, right? It's coming to the surface. And then when it's at the surface and we get those solar energies, they get to kind of burn off what no longer applies. So, as annoying as it is to pick those metaphorical weeds right now and the time it takes, it's so valuable because instead of just chopping the weed off when it still has the roots, you've actually pulled the roots out and the sun will burn the roots, right? So, he's saying there's value in this energy right now. And so, he's like, it's really important not to take it personally, but rather act methodically. And I think that's also echoing what Shaham said yesterday that came through in the cards as well, which was step thoughtfully on your path. Orion is saying tread methodically along your path. So same message, very interesting, same idea. Let those weeds come out, pick them, take the time. Okay, and because he's saying too, he's like, just like a garden, you have to tend to your garden. You can't just plant your garden once and leave it and it just be beautiful and glorious. He's like, you have to tend to it. You have to weed it. You have to trim certain things at certain points. You have to add extra water when it's really sunny. You have to have proper drainage. Like for something to really grow, you have to tend to it. And he said some seasons, some growing seasons are harder than others. And he's saying for many of us right now, and like I've talked about, and I will be talking about in the energy update next week, this season has been particularly rough, right? It's been a particularly intense growing season. And he's saying that we have to not take that personally. It can be frustrating. But if we take it personally and we internalize it, it pulls us away from the methodical way in which we can choose to move through it, right? So you can have something, say, really bad happen to you. And you can either get really upset that this thing is happening to you and stay in that upsetness. I mean, I'm all for validate your emotions, feel your emotion, but then what, right? So once you acknowledge the thing that's happening, then it's like, what can you do about it? What are all the things you can learn about yourself, about the thing, about whatever it is to do about it, to move through it? And that's how we gain so much knowledge, but we have to not get stuck in it. Because he says, he's like, universally, I can see that tables are turning, things are turning. This lock and key thing that they're talking about is legit, and it's coming together. And so if we stay methodical in it and we're like, you know what, it's a bit of a grind right now, but I need to tend to my personal garden, right? I have to do it. If I want it to be beautiful, I have to do it. He's like, if you look at it that way, you don't take it so personally, and you will facilitate those beautiful blooms, those beautiful scents from the flowers, right? Those moments where life blossoms, where you're surrounded in the goodness of it. So I really, really like that perspective. And he's saying this is something that we, as Pleiadians, he's saying we have really mastered the understanding of this, which is what helps us stay in this higher frequency. He says, in your words, this is what makes it a real game changer, is how you can methodically move through with conscious choice and intention the tough seasons. And he's saying when you are surrounded with or a part of groups that have this similar idea, it makes it so much easier to hold your energy there. So maybe today you reach out to somebody, see how they're doing, or if somebody reaches out, you share this sort of idea with them to help hold up that group energy that you can also then draw from too. So very interesting. I love that. Well, since we've had two galactics already this week, I'm really curious what tomorrow is about. So we'll see what message comes through tomorrow. But I want to thank you all so much for joining me, for your shares. Please do like and subscribe. That really helps the channel grow. And share this with somebody if they need it. If they need that change of perspective because they're struggling, please do feel free to share. And I just want to thank you all so much for your love, your comments, your kindness. It's a beautiful community that we have here. And that is entirely thanks to all of you. So have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow.